Good evening, AEGEAN 600 race fans. I'm Dobbs Davis with our Wednesday daily video report of this fine race in its fifth edition. I'm going to talk you through what's going on out there in the race course. My report won't be very long, I promise, but there's some exciting things happening, not just now, but actually in the time to come. So, as usual, we'll go to where we are now in time. This is our YB tracker map of the course area. Feel free to scroll around. And a couple things I want to point out, which is that a lot of the features that you're seeing me use in this show uploaded to YouTube, you will not be able to replicate this yourself using the YB app on a phone or an iPad. The functionality of the app is not as extensive as the functionality that I have here in the browser version. So if you want to kind of follow along or explore what we're doing here, the browser version just doesn't have some of the same features. So I just wanted to give you that heads up. All right, so big picture, this is the course area. By now, those of you that have been tuning into this know that the blue colors with the predict wind overlay shows winds that are, let's say, light to moderate, up to 10, 12 knots of wind, 8 to 12 knots of wind, something like that. The deeper the blue, the less the wind. The more it shades toward green, the little greater velocity in wind. And of course, greens are even more, 12 to 15, up to 18 knots. And as we see over here in the north of Crete, there's some oranges. And the oranges are where the serious breeze is. That's 25 to 30 knots. So with that in mind, let's look to see what's happening out here. By now, you can see from the tracks that most of the fleet is well around the racetrack. There's still a few down here trying to get around Rhodos. These are the tail end Charlies, smaller boats, slower boats. Good on them for hanging in there and getting around this race course. This has been a long, slow race, and so we applaud their perseverance. So I'm going to show you why in the next few hours this could be good news for a lot of those slower boats out on the race course. I'm going to zoom in now, like so, scroll up to the top of the course, and let's look at our current race leaders. Daggett 5 has been leading basically since Carpathos, boat for boat. This French team is exceptionally good. They're not going very fast now, 5 knots, basically westerly 5 knots. I can't quite tell. I guess if we look at this zigzag here, maybe they're going upwind. That could be a wind shift. Not really sure. I mean, at these low wind speeds, could be just about anything. They've been actually trading the lead with this massive multi-hull, this catamaran Allegra, 86 feet long, and these two were boat for boat with each other back over here in the corner before they made that turn to the west. I think certainly going upwind and certainly in light air, the monohull will be faster boat for boat. But we'll see. The breeze will be, as we'll see in a moment, coming up. The other teams out here that I want you to pay attention to are these. That's George Procopio's Volvo 70. They've finally passed Carbonita and Varuna. Varuna is a Cookson 50. Carbonita is a Neo 570. This group has been together for just about 24 hours, all the way from Rhodos down in the southeast corner of the course. They've gone through all these legs. I'm calling it the chicane. They're zigzagging their way up along the east side of the Aegean, around the islands and rocks that form this part of the course. And they've really stuck together like glue. Nobody's really extended out. Right now, 4.8 knots, 6 knots, also 6 knots on Varuna. So this isn't a lot of wind. My guess is they are going upwind in light air with just enough speed to keep going. And they're very close to the rum line. So they're not straying away like we've seen in other legs of this race course to go find more breeze. It's more or less a straight shot. There's another group of boats down here that are also making progress. They're at reaching angles, so they're arguably in the same amount of wind speed, going faster. I mean, Evi is going 11.1 knots. That's quite fast. The Searcher is a Care 46. They're going not a lot faster, 6.4 knots, but maybe there's something that they'll get up in here where they can put up a code 0 or be at the right angle to take advantage of those reaching angles. The Karki 47 Optimus, they're going along okay, 10 knots, so they've got some big sails, and at these reaching angles are making great progress. Okay, so here's the story for tonight. This is, let's see. I'm going to scroll that forward. Actually, this is closer to being the actual wind conditions now, if we believe the time up here. It says 1930 Eastern European time. My clock says 1924, so this is close. Maybe Allegra is favoring going south because maybe they see this, more pressure to the south that they want to take advantage of. Hard to say, really. But the real story is what's going to happen in a few hours. And by the way, over here to the west near Athens, it is really hot on shore. I mean, it's 40 degrees and just baking. Really bright sun, really hot. So part of that's driven, of course, by this southerly breeze out here. You're not getting any coolness from any northerly, but that's going to change. So let's see what happens in a few hours when we scroll forward. Things go light. Well, that's never good. Well, the reason it's going light is watch what happens. And this is 1:30 this morning. At just before dawn, look what happens. I'm going to scroll out to give you a close look at this. I mean, this is the Meltemi. The Meltemi coming back, roaring back out here on the race course. So just before dawn, remember those browns and oranges, that's 30 knots of wind. This is a solid wall of wind that's going to be heading out on the race course. Now, by the time it hits these guys, and this is 6-8 hours from now, they will likely already be up in here near Mykonos and having to navigate through this gate there at that island, which can be tricky. I mean, in years past, when it was super windy going through there, it was a challenge for some boats. You had to, reef the mains. They had a lee shore. It was not an easy thing to do. So we'll see how they get through that. If the wind direction on it remains in that kind of northerly quadrant, it shouldn't be too bad as long as it doesn't swing too far west. So let's also look to see what happens later on at 7:30 in the morning tomorrow and at 10:30. So this thing only gets larger. I won't say uglier because it'll probably be a welcome relief, particularly for these guys who've been kind of, sailing around for a lot of this race in light air. They're going to be able to take advantage on this long reach over from the Turkish coast. They're going to be sailing in a lot of wind and at reaching angles and at very high speeds. A little later in the afternoon, all that pressure continues to extend east in the race course. Meanwhile, the guys that are in the leaders are actually, they're headed on their way to the finish line, but in decidedly less wind. So my prediction is, again, if you look at boat speed being correlative with wind speed, this might give a chance for these guys here in the race course to catch up to these guys here who will be over here at about this time tomorrow afternoon. These guys are going to be roaring across and closing the gap, both in elapsed time and corrected time. So this could be a great equalizer opportunity. Now, what happens tomorrow evening is it starts to go light again, but it remains in the race course at quite nice sailable conditions. Those that are still out there tomorrow night will be faced with some pretty light air as they make the final approach in here. toward Kia and over toward the finish at Cape Suyunyo. But this is all good news for the guys that are out there in the back of the pack. This might be an opportunity for them to catch up. So that's my summary for the Wednesday report here for the AEGEAN 600. Once again, I thank you for tuning in. And on behalf of the Hellenic Ocean Racing Club, I will bid you adieu for now and talk to you tomorrow. Have a great evening.